Hey everybody, it's Amanda, and I am just painting here in my studio, and I thought that I would let you guys hop on and join me. I'm painting with acrylics, and got my big tub of white. I'm going to get some paint out on my palette here before I get going. So you guys, as you're coming on, say hello, let me know where you're watching from. And I've been doing a few floral pieces lately, so I think I'm going to do another one. And kind of got in mind what I want to do, so we'll just play around with some ideas and see what happens, and we'll see. Hi Bonnie. Okay, I'm going to be using brushes and knives today. I'm going to start with my brush and a little bit of some raw umber. So I'm just going to get a little bit of a wash going on here. And I think I'm going to do something sort of like an abstract floral. Some pinks and blues. I know that's so surprising. That's kind of my thing. But I don't know how many of you have seen, there's a photo of the painting, there's a painting above my bed that I did that it's really my favorite painting that I've ever done, I think. So I'm going to try to do something a little bit similar to that. We'll see what happens. Hi Tina. Hi Phyllis. You guys, some of you were with me for our question and answer time this morning in the creative community. All right. And these are heavy bodied acrylics. That's my favorite. Can you see that it doesn't drip or run? So these are stout, heavy, textured paints that are in the tube, not in the bottle. And that's what I like to use. I'm gonna try making something for a background first and see if I like it. Sometimes you just have to play with ideas and not go into a painting thinking that you already know what's going to happen, because most of the time I have no idea. let's get some darker turquoise. Actually, I'm gonna do some green. Let's go with some sap green. Let's see what happens when I just get a good bit of that on here and darken it. I think I want to use some really dark turquoise too. And I need to let that dry for just a minute before I keep going. But what I have in mind is some pretty pink flowers. And so I'm going to use some crimson red and white to get a pretty neutral pink color. And I'm definitely going to need, let me get some of this turquoise first. Definitely going to need some dark green and brown and white. I'm going to pick up my knife now. And this is what I like to do best. I think I should have scraped it off first. If you have too much paint on the back of your knife, then it's going to scrape into your paint. Instead of putting down paint, all those rough little edges will pull paint off. So keeping your knife clean is kind of important. I'm not always that great at doing it. So here is my scraper. I may not be able to get to it right now. I'm going to use my finger and try to clean it off. It's just going to peel right off this acrylic paint. But it's easier to do when you have like a blade or a palette scraper or something like that that has a sharp edge on it. It makes it easier to get it off. That one's not going to work. Let me try this one. It builds up really on this back edge. There we go. It will build up right here and cause lots of problems when you're trying to do something that looks smooth. That's much better. Okay. I just want to get a little bit of an interesting background going first. And then I'll come back and there are lots of different ways that you can use a knife, and this is just one of many where you can really use it for blending. Most of the time I don't blend. But in this case, it's making a really interesting background, so I like it. Okay. Now, I'm going to take my liner brush and just start making some marks with the green. There's not really a plan for this, but that's what makes it fun. So. Okay, now let's try some flowers. There are lots of you here today. Amy's asking what color blue is that? It is teal, T-E-A-L. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to use my knife and just start putting in some small little flowers. I'm going to put some larger ones in a few spots, but I'm going to pick a few places and start. Hopefully you can see this okay. Maybe I should move it over this way a little more, or maybe not. Okay. Okay, definitely need more flowers than that. Okay, let's do some little leaves. Now we got paint peeling off the top. Okay. I think I'm gonna go with some really dark ones first. And I'm going to need some more green paint. I'm also going to add a good bit of white in here. I'm going to let my flowers just kind of settle just a little bit, and then I can come back and work on them some more. So this one's kind of abstract, and what I was talking about, the painting that I have that's above our bed in our bedroom, it has mostly a neutral background. It's not blue like this, but it's kind of the same idea. These kind of crazy vines everywhere, and you can see that, and then some pretty abstract flowers here and there. It's of course bigger than this one. This one's 11 by 14. My canvas size is 11 by 14. I'm trying not to get too structured with my movements because I don't want it to start looking too planned. But I've got an idea that I want this side to be darker and then lighter over here. That's all I know right now. Okay, I'm going to go back to my flowers again. I may do some splatter on here. I haven't done that in a long time. But for now, I'm going to go in and lighten and brighten. And one of the best things you can do when you're painting flowers is try your best to vary the position of them. So don't have them all turned facing one direction. Have some turned to the side, maybe this way, and then have some petals coming out around the edge. Something like that. I mean, just add some variation in there. You don't want all of them to look exactly alike. Okay, now let's do some little bitty buds here and there. Maybe just some tiny little flowers that are not kind of deconstructed. So it's more like there's a hint of a flower there, but not the structure of it. And I'm going to do some light green. I don't want it to all be just one dark green color for my leaves, so I'm going to have a little bit of both. And maybe even put some around each one of these flowers so that it gives it the sense that it's all connected a little better. So they're not just kind of floating around. See how it would look if I did maybe some lines that are really light with some white and some green. I'm going to use my liner brush again and try that. Let's just get out some green and some white and play with some lighter That's looking good. I don't know if you can see it very well, but I am liking that. I'm going to let it settle for just a minute and let me see what you guys are saying. Debbie's just learning to use knives. That is awesome. Someone asked about seeing the painting that's in the bedroom, but I can't take you in there. I'm on my laptop, and so I've got my camera set up. This is my webcam, but it may be on my website somewhere. I'm going to undo this and show you a little bit closer view of some of this texture that we've got here. So here's where we are so far. And I want to do some splatters of white. So let me see. I like to use a fan brush to do that, but I'm going to need a good bit of water. You can see, just got white and a little bit of this turquoise. And we're going to see what happens when I throw paint at this. So just close your eyes if you're afraid. We'll see what happens. There's not really a way to control this, so it's just gonna do what it does. It just went on the floor, but it's okay. Oops. Get it on my pants. My family gets onto me for not wearing my apron. But I forget about it, and then I get paint all over my clothes, and that's just the way it is. Okay, that's good for now. Can you see? See my splatters? And I think I'm going to mix up a little bit of some cream, like a brown with my white, just to warm up some of the flowers just a little bit, because they're a little too stark. If I can find what I'm looking for. Okay, that feels better. Thank you all. You're saying you like it. I'm not sure if I'm going to add anything else or not. Some of the flowers I feel like have gotten a little flat, so I'm going to put a little bit of a darker pink in there. But I think I may be done after that. Just a little. Okay. I guess I could overdo it, so I'm going to try not to keep going too much. But I do like the results that I got from those splatters. So this would be considered an abstract floral. And abstracts are part of what we're going to be doing in my creative community beginning in February. For those of you who are new, I have several different options for classes on my website. And the creative community it's kind of my big group of classes and help, and we have guest artists that come in. You get to see behind the scenes in my business. You get question and answer time with me once a month, and you get access to the archived library of all the tutorials that I've done in the past, all the way back to 2017. So there are probably close to 200 different videos now that are available. And my group is open to new members. If you are interested in joining, then you can do that at artbyamandyhilburn.com. I'll just type I thought I would type a comment. Here we go. artbyamandyhilburn.com is where you can find my artwork that's for sale. You can find all of my classes. You can find individual classes, the group, the creative community, where I have everything available. There's also another group where you just get one video tutorial per month. It's called the Palette Knife Painting Group. And I have a blog, I have a podcast, I just have lots and lots of resources over there if you're interested in art in general. But thanks for being here with me today. Here's our finished painting. And I'm going to have to let it dry a little bit, and then I'll sign it. And I've got several newer paintings, original paintings, listed on my website now. So this one will be listed soon. And let's see. Bonnie says, can we sell the paintings? We do here. If you're copying it exactly the way that I did, if your painting looks exactly like this, then I would encourage you to change it enough that it looks like something that you created and not something that I created. So most of the time when people follow tutorials, they end up painting something that looks unique to them anyway. So what usually happens is I will teach something. 4 different people may use that tutorial and paint the same subject, but all 4 look completely different because we're all unique individuals and we have our own way of doing things, even when we're following directions. So my rule of thumb in my groups and my classes has always been, you can paint it, but it needs to look a little bit different. It needs to look different enough that it's not mistaken for one of my paintings, because that's gonna damage your reputation, and it's gonna hold you back and keep you from creating artwork that is unique and different and something that is special that only you can make. So in my creative community, that's one of the things that we really work on, is helping you get from just relying on those step-by-step lessons to taking the step-by-step lesson and then adding your own things to it. So changing things, finding your own color palettes. Like for January, we took photos. We had an assignment. We took photos outside in nature. Then we used an app on our phone, and we pulled colors from whatever your photos were, not my photos, but your photos, and then created artwork based on your own color palette. So that was sort of like an exercise just to help you see color in a different way, find things in your own environment that you can use for inspiration. So that was a long answer to a short question. But that's kind of my thing. That's what I really enjoy doing. I like to help people to, number one, get started and not be afraid to paint, but number two, really tap into their unique abilities and ideas and not be afraid to be original, because that's where all the magic happens. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Thanks for being here with me. And like I said, if you have questions, I'll answer them here in the comments. And if you want to head over and check out my website and see what different classes are available, then you can do that there. And I'll see you next time. Bye.